Westmount was kind of special. I because of the fact that I was an older guy when I started, I was older than a lot of guys that were just finishing their careers when I started. But I got to get an association with the team very quickly. And they were a really great bunch of guys. I'd never experienced this kind of camaraderie before. I played hockey, I played junior hockey, I played football, junior football, juvenile football, and I'd never experienced anything like that.
Westmount was a very dominant club in those days. It was a cosmopolitan experience. There were people from all over the world, Australians. I know there were 2 Welshmen on the team, my being one of them. They were from all over, and it is very interesting to see. And again, I don't mean this in a condescending ways. A lot of the local talented lads coming away from football and taking up the game of rugby and excelling in it very quickly.
And it's just to play with Roy, just to watch him play and the way he was so nifty and slide around, and that to me is like, that was so much fun to play with Roy. And he was a good teacher. He helped us a lot to grow in the sport. It was brutal back then. A lot of good hits. I love the aggression. I love the tackling.
It means a lot. So playing rugby in England for many years was a huge driver for me. But when I came to Montreal and started playing for Westmount, I had no idea about the history of the club. And I always remember the first time I pulled on the jersey, and just looking at the year of 1876 on a rugby jersey, despite playing in England, that was just a huge thrill for me.
I grew up in Westmount, so it was kind of a natural fit. And I guess the best thing was, you know, our trips away, we weren't a touring team. Like the Irish would go to Bahamas and stuff, but we would do every year. We would go down to Boston or New York City and stuff, get a bus, and the wives and everything else like that, and the girlfriends, and they were terrific times. They were great.
Je suis arrivé par l'ETS, je suis resté pour Westmount. Donc ça a été une grande famille. Peu importe qui avait besoin de quelque chose, il y avait toujours un coéquipier qui était là pour lui, que ce soit autant au terrain que dans la vie personnelle. Donc c'était une grosse famille, c'était vraiment juste ça, c'était la famille de Westmount.
It meant everything to me. I lived and breathed rugby. I started at 18, 19, and I ended in about 1994 after the old boys. Lost in 2 finals, won in 1 final, which brought us up to first division, and I got coach of the year. I did coach for a couple of years. I loved it. Rugby was everything, and especially Westmount, a lot of good people.
I enjoyed playing for Westmount immensely. I knew a number of the members of the team, but in those days, in the City League as it was then, we played against each other, and it was the custom after every game for the 2 teams to retire to the same bar and enjoy each other's company, drink beer and so on. And so in the course of that kind of camaraderie, I got to know a number of the Westmount players, and so moving from McGill to Westmount, it seemed like a perfectly natural thing. I already had friends there.